The Holocaust was devastating. According to the United States Holocaust Memorial Museum, between 5 and 6 million Jews were killed. More than 3 million Soviet civilians, prisoners of war, were killed. More than 7 million Soviet civilians, more than 1 million Polish civilians, and hundreds of thousands of more lives were killed. These numbers are overwhelming and they make us cringe. However, there are other numbers which are also cringeworthy. According to the Guttmacher Institute, between 1973 and 2011, there have been approximately 53 million legal abortions in the United States. That is 4 times more deaths than the Holocaust. In 2017, there were 881,000 abortions, and in 2014, 19% of pregnancies, not even including miscarriages, ended in abortion. During the next few minutes, I want to try to explain what abortion is, what an embryo or fetus is, why we should be concerned about the number of abortions happening in America, and what we can do about it. What is abortion? According to MedicineNet, the medical definition for abortion is the premature exit from the uterus of the products of conception, which would be the fetus, fetal membranes, and placenta. According to a Live Action article, which received much of its information from the Guttmacher Institute, there are 4 main types of abortion procedures used in America. The first is medical. This destroys the embryo by a pill. The next is D&C abortion, which is the most prevalent in America. This is when a suction machine is inserted into the uterus, which is 10 times more powerful than a vacuum cleaner, and it sucks up and rips the fragile fetus apart. The next is a D&E abortion, which is the most commonly used abortion procedure from 13 to 24 weeks of pregnancy. This is when a sulfur clamp is inserted into the uterus and removes the limbs of the fetus. Another instrument is inserted to scrape out the remaining parts. Induction abortion is when a substance is injected into the preborn child, creating cardiac arrest. It then induces labor after a few days. This is used after 25 weeks of pregnancy. There is no doubt about the fact that there is a death when an abortion happens. Even people who are proponents for abortion recognize this. Faye Wattleton, who is the former president of Planned Parenthood, stated, "I think we have deluded ourselves into believing that people don't know that abortion is killing. So any pretense that abortion is not killing is a signal of our ambivalence, a signal that we cannot say, yes, it kills a fetus." You see, there is a death when an abortion occurs. Now you may be asking, what is a fetus? According to MedicineNet, a fetus is an unborn offspring. The embryo refers to the first stages of development after fertilization, and after the 8th week, it is called a fetus. A fetus has life. According to the scientific definition of life by the Encyclopedia Britannica, life is an individual characterized by the capacity to perform certain functional activities, including metabolism, growth, reproduction, and some form of responsiveness. According to Wes Messermer's article, which received much of his information from the Guttmacher Institute, a fetus does indeed carry out all these qualifications for life. It carries out metabolism by itself. A fetus has growth. It receives nutrients and energy from its mother, yes, but it processes all that in nutrients on its own. A fetus has the potential to reproduce. You might be saying, well, it only has the potential. However, does not a 4-year-old only have potential to reproduce? A fetus has responsiveness. It acts as an independent and fully functioning organism without the help of its mother. To give you a better picture of the life that a fetus truly has, I want to walk you through a few stages of development in the womb according to the Cleveland Clinic. During the first month of pregnancy, a primitive face takes form, and tiny heart tubes will beat 65 times a minute by the end of the 4th week. During the 3rd month, arms, hands, feet, fingers, and toes are fully formed. It can open and close its fists and mouth. During the 4th month, the heartbeat is audible through an instrument called the Doppler. It can suck its thumb, it can yawn, the fetus can stretch and make faces. During the 6th month of pregnancy, the fetus responds to sounds and moving, and its eyelids begin to open and eyes open. As you can see, by scientific definition, a fetus has life. However, not only does it have life, it is not bird life, it is not plant life, a fetus is human life. And we know this by the law of biogenesis that states human life can only come from similar pre-existing human life. As I stated before, a fetus is not plant life, it is not a bird life, a fetus is human life. Some people argue that personhood is different from being a human being. A personhood is someone's self-awareness and desires and aims and thoughts and having the capacity to reason and capacity for relationships. However, this claim is subjective. When we make this claim, you can also argue that a 4-year-old has less value than a 30-year-old because it does not have the ability to reason or as deep of desires as a 30-year-old or the capacity for relationship or the capacity to reason like a 30-year-old. You see, this claim is simply too subjective. Some people argue, well, a woman has the right to choose what to do with her own body. I agree, a woman has the right to choose what to do with her own body. The problem is that there is another individual's life at stake. According to the article written by Wes Messmer, genetic material in each cell of the developing embryo has a unique identity separate from its mother's or father's. You see, we cannot take away the right of a human being for the convenience of another. Well, what if the child will be born into a poor social setting, some say? However, did not some of the greatest men and women in history, were they not born into poverty? Well, what if the child will be physically deformed? No parent wants a physically deformed child. However, does that give us the right to kill that child? Are not the homeless wanted, and we can't just go kill them? Are not the homeless unwanted? Since we have established that the fetus is indeed a living human being, and abortion is the destruction and killing of the fetus, the living human being, then it is clear that abortion indeed is the killing of an innocent human life, which we all understand as being wrong and against the law. You may be thinking, okay, so what? Abortion takes the life of an unborn baby. What can I do about it? Abortion has become such a huge thing in America that to think about stopping it is an overwhelming task. However, tackling the abortion issue could be seen as eating an elephant, one bite at a time. Here are a few practical ways that you can respond. 1, become more knowledgeable. Maybe you're not convinced, but your interest is piqued. Or maybe you know abortion is wrong, but wouldn't know to explain why. A few websites that would be good to check out for further explanation would be Life Training Institute and Family Research Council. Another way would be to support or volunteer at your local pregnancy center. And finally, another way to respond to this information would be to contact your representative and tell them what you think about the abortion laws in our state and country. I would like to close with this question. If it is wrong to hurt people because of their skin, color, or gender, then why is it okay to kill them based on size, development, and dependency? Thank you.